But having a guy like Hayden or having a guy that can play Y and F or whatever the two tight ends positions are for us creates more value for them.
As an Arkansas guy, do you feel that kids from Arkansas should have a pull to attend the University of Arkansas if they're offered that scholarship and that opportunity?
Well, you went from one spectrum to the other there. You came right at it. That's all right. Well, I can't speak for that. I can only speak from my experience, and from my experience being an Arkansas kid, yes, that's how I felt. And I think that there are a lot of kids that do feel that way. I don't think it's necessarily I think each case, is just case by case. It's different. I think it's different now than it was 20 years ago, just with the media exposure to available to all the other brands across the country. It's a little bit different, but people that grow up here that have been in this state, that know what the Razorbacks are, know what it means to the people of Arkansas, and really know what it would mean for them to be a student athlete here at this university long term. I think that would be a really good idea for them to feel that way.
I like to talk about recruiting a lot, obviously, but y'all not going to have as big a class this year, it would appear, but you're getting a lot of people in here early, got a lot of people in there last year, got a lot of commits early. Just talk about how important that is to y'all.
Well, you can certainly see the benefits of the early enrollment. We've already got, a guy like Malik Williams that's been through 5 practices, and man, he's a good football player, and it's the benefit that he's getting. Shane Clint, all these guys, that obviously speaks for itself. And then, obviously we got some other guys that are going to be here on a different timeline, and man, it's just made it so much better the last few years. The rules that allow us to get our hand. Back in the day, you needed 2-a-days. When I reported, the first time I saw my coach was the first day of August, and it's so different now. You're so much more acclimated from a strength and conditioning point, a mental standpoint. So that makes a huge difference for the development of incoming freshmen. And so I think it's going to help us get some help out of these guys this year.
And during the spring, y'all are bringing in a lot of kids, getting a chance to see the university first.
Yep.
Let's talk about getting them on campus and how it is.
Well, Coach is real strategic about how we set up our schedule. A lot of colleges do their spring balls Monday through Friday. They don't do Saturday and Sunday or Saturday practices, and it's one of the parts that's strategic about why we go on Saturdays is it allows us to circle 4 or 5 Saturdays to try to push guys to get to campus, to give them an opportunity, say, hey, here's 4 dates, here's 4 Saturdays in a row. We'd love to have you for any Saturday to come up and learn more about us. We learn more about you. And every visit's unique in its own, Dudley. Some of them are here to get an offer. Some of them are here for us to take the next step and learning more about them. Some of them are here for them to make sure they understand that we are interested in them. But it's been good to have them on campus.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
How's CJ's blocking?
Better, much better.
Because was that probably the biggest area that he's improving?
Well, yeah, probably. That's probably been his biggest deficiency is just his willingness and his the competitiveness when it comes to the SEC and the blocking part of it. But it's been much improved. It's far from perfect. And none of them are, but he's certainly shown signs of willingness, toughness, more strain. He understands that he's got a really good football IQ, and so I think he's on the verge. I hope he's on the verge of really taking the next step as a player, and because we need him to. And he's got certainly enough ability to take that next step.
Is that a pretty typical adjustment to transition?
Sure it is. Yeah, especially at that position. The majority of the guys we get are guys that played receiver in high school.
Was that something like Hunter had to go through that too?
Yeah, and his progression was quicker. It just was he was just more natural at it. He took to it more. He understood that probably it was just more ingrained in him a little bit. I think part of that was from his background with his dad being an O-lineman but Hunter was just a complete player. But yes, that's a very natural progression, and that I have learned that's probably the most important thing that you can stress with an incoming tight end is how to handle the run game and how to get himself physically ready to play in our league. And so hopefully him and others are on the verge of figuring that out.
If you roll a 2 tight set out there Saturday first thing? Is it Austin and CJ or?
It depends, but yeah, that's likely. That would be Austin and CJ or Austin and Jack. It would be one of those 2 combinations to start off with. Those guys have probably earned that right. Those 3, a combination of any of those 3, have probably earned the right to be in that one huddle at this point. And we'll just continue to see how it goes through the last 10 days.
Okay. Is Hayden? Is he pretty much like an H right now? Is that basically where?
I mean, he's still being a fullback for us, but we're trying to teach him how to handle some of the things that tight ends do, so we can be able to give people some different looks. So when he's in the game, we're not just running, fullback-driven plays. That he can do some other things, and or vice versa. We like to have our tight ends, if we have 2 in the game, that we're not always doing 2 tight end things. We like to be able to do fullback. So really, we're just trying to bring him into that game of getting cross-trained.
Okay, 2 more for you.
Yeah.
Jeremy, how much are you in contact with him? I know he came.
Patton? Yeah, I talk to him quite a bit. Yeah, on text message, and keep up with him and encourage him. He's got, in school, and we talk a lot.
Have you been able to tell that there's maybe more of a, not that there wasn't before, but more of a sense of urgency with some of these young guys? You've got so many young guys that are all fighting for playing.
Yeah, I think urgency. Is it urgency? Is it maturity? Is it confidence? It's all, it's probably a hybrid of those things, but they're all playing faster and better than what they played this time last year. And that's what you want. Some guys progress at a different pace than others. Some skyrocket in their progression. Some it's a snail's pace. And we just keep coaching them hard and hope to get them to be the best they can.